EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is Lamar Miller, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Miller. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A first down carry now for Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Reset. Come back. Tiger. Come back.
They'll try the air now with Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Tiger. Green the line. Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Red, blue 80, blue 80.
Out of the gun, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
14, got it.
They go play action with Wilson. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
19. Gotta go.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. A handoff to Penny. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Wilson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Bernardrick McKinney leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Out to it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
14.
Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
To throw is Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's going to go down again. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Richmond.
They're going for it. It's Watson. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
Black 22! Black 22!
From the red zone now, Watson, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Good. 19. Good. Hey!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson underneath to Davis. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. He got 29 yards that time. 14. A first down carry for Davis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, 14. Gotta go.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson, rolling to his right. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, Penny. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And he's able to put it through. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back. Hey.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans send the punter out, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A dump off for Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
14.
On second down, Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Penny, a first down carry. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Well, they'll run it again with Penny. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is third and 8.
14.
Throwing is Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Black 39 Philly. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. ball's out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Black 22! Black 22! Tiger!
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Watson now to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Watson going up top. And that is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down, and of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you're pretty good.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting out and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Tiger!
Throwing again is Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Kendricks in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on fourth. Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to go up top for the end. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Justin Reed. And nothing there on the return. They got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. And Watson's going to go down in the end end zone. It's a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation, because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. For the Seahawks on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Move some team. Try easy. Check 51. Check 51. Check 52.
The pitch goes to Penny, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Tiger.
Watson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.